Why is everything suddenly is so expensive? Anybody would tell you that life back in 2018 and 2019 was a lot more affordable than it is right now. Even though that people are making far more money today than they did back in 2018 and 2019, it feels like prices have risen so much that for the vast majority of people, life became extremely unaffordable. Yes, prices have increased by about 30% since then, but so did wages have increased also by 30%. So one is offsetting the other. But what if I told you that this statistics is a complete lie and they're simply using these statistics to fool you, even though that they have systematically destroyed the economy and made life unaffordable, especially for the bottom 50%. The average person today cannot possibly afford an average lifestyle, and that's why more and more people are relying on credit card debts. During 2020 and 2021, credit card debts have actually plummeted, but we can clearly see that starting from 2021, credit card debts have exponentially growing faster than they ever did in the past, and there isn't a single indication that credit card debts are going to go down anytime soon. And credit card debt is literally the worst kind of debt that anybody can possibly borrow. And this is primarily happening because the dollars that you're earning, the dollars you're saving in your bank account are losing their value faster than you can possibly imagine. Yes, they tell you that inflation is like 3 or 4%, but to understand the true inflation, all you have to do is compare the US dollars to gold prices. If you look at gold by itself is not an asset that manufactures or produces something. If you take gold and compare it to real estate offers shelter. So it can provide a service to somebody. In exchange, somebody will pay you something. But if you're holding a lot of gold, that gold simply sits there and shines. So the price of gold fundamentally rises when the dollar is losing its value. In 2019, the average bar of a gold was about $1,500. Today, that number has risen to over $4,000. That means that the price of gold since then has risen by 166%. In other words, the dollars that you're earning today have lost 160% of their value. And if you compare that to the peak of the gold prices, where gold prices almost crossed $5,500, then the dollar has lost 260% of its value. Yes, they came out with this artificial inflation number that has nothing to do with the reality. But if you want to know the real inflation, then you have to compare it to gold prices. That means that your wages have grown by 30%, but your dollars have lost 160% of their value. And if you find out the reasons, you will be blown away. They have systematically got inflation out of control. Between 2009 and 2020, inflation was pretty much under control, where it was floating at around 2%. Some years it slightly got to about 3%, but other years it went down to as low as 0%. But since 2020, you can see that inflation is consistently above the 2% inflation target. And if you look at the data for 2025, inflation ended with around 3%, and right now inflation is around 4.2%. The problem with this inflation numbers is that this was artificial inflation created by the Federal Reserve, because this inflation happened since the Federal Reserve has lowered down interest rates to 0%. In 2021, inflation rises to 4.7%. So each quarter, inflation was rising faster and faster, and the targeted inflation rate for the Federal Reserve is 2%. So if you're the head of the Federal Reserve, you know that you have to increase the interest rates, or at least you should stop printing money. But if you look at the interest rates, up until February 2020, the Federal Reserve keeps interest rates at 0%. You have inflation that's about 5% and you keep interest rates at 0%. That is literally the Federal Reserve deliberately creating inflation to destroy the value of the dollar. To make it worse, in 2020, you can see that the Federal Reserve keeps throwing and printing trillions of dollars, which is the main reason why the dollar has lost so much of its value. So if you think this happened by accident, then you're making a mistake. And it just made housing unaffordable for the average person. If you look at the life of the average person, the biggest expense is obviously housing. Either you are paying a mortgage or you're renting a place. So if house prices explode, suddenly a bigger chunk of your income is going to go into housing. So you will have less money to spend on groceries, which means that now you have to borrow more money. Because the Fed kept throwing so much money into the economy, from 2020 to 2022, house prices basically explode, and this is why most people cannot possibly afford a house. This systematic increase in house prices was done purposely by the Federal Reserve. But because the Federal Reserve did not raise the interest rates in 2021 when inflation was already at a 5%, guess what? We still have inflation up until today, which is why the Federal Reserve has to keep interest rates insanely high. And that's why mortgage rates haven't actually came down. If you look at the mortgage rates over the last couple of years and you compare them to the previous period, at least since 2010, mortgage rates were still affordable. And at certain points, mortgage rates were at about 3.5%. Now today, every single year, we haven't seen mortgage rates below 6%. And based on everything that's happening in the economy today, it seems like mortgage rates will rise to 7% or 8%, especially if this war with Iran is going to continue to get worse. Most people don't realize, but the modern economy is a debt-driven economy. Everything is based on debt. So the moment the cost of debt rises, suddenly everything in the economy is going to become a lot more expensive. So if we go back to 2018 and 2019, we can realize that from 2008 up until 2020, interest rates were literally at almost 0%. The only time they raised the interest rates was back in 2018 and 2019, and even back then, interest rates were 2.5% and not as high as 3.7% today. Now, the Fed cannot possibly lower down interest rates, and that means that when the cost of borrowing money rises, the cost of everything else in the economy rises because it directly impacts everybody. Whether it's a company that is borrowing money to build another manufacturing plant to produce something, so that price is going to be factored in the final price that will be sold to consumer. Or it's the average person that is borrowing money from his credit cards or getting a mortgage or getting an auto loan. Another thing that they have systematically destroyed is the energy market. The energy market is one giant pool of energy, and then the rest of the world simply buys energy from that huge pool. That huge pool is one giant pool, and that consists from major oil manufacturers in the world, including the United States. The world needs around 105 million barrels of oil a day. But these countries today are producing 95 million barrels a day. So there is already a huge shortage of oil in the market, which is why oil prices cannot possibly go down. However, starting from 2022, the Ukrainian war started and the Russian oil was sanctioned, and Russia is responsible for 12% of the global oil supply. So if you remove 12% of the global oil supply because you have sanctioned it, suddenly there is a shortage of oil in the market. So the rest of the market is fighting for smaller amount of oil in the world, which means that oil prices have risen. And when oil prices rise, suddenly the cost of shipping rises, the cost of factories rises, the cost of electricity rises. To make things worse, Donald Trump starts a war with Iran, and Middle East is responsible for a third of the global oil supply. Because when you're starting a war with Iran, you're not just blocking Iran's oil, but rather you're blocking the oil from the entire Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait. So when you remove the Middle Eastern oil and the Russian oil from the market, suddenly there is almost a 50% shortage of oil in the market, which is why oil prices have exploded. Now, if you're a business and you're selling, now the cost of oil for you has substantially risen. Now you take that cost and you factor it in your final price, and suddenly prices all across the globe starts to rise. And this is a problem that we did not have back in 2019, because in 2019 there was no war with Iran, there was no war with Ukraine, and all that oil was freely sold in the global international markets. We're also having a globalization collapse. One of the major reasons, no matter who will tell you what, the fact that prices have gone substantially down over the last 30 to 40 years is because we have globalization. And that means that if somebody in some part of the world can manufacture something at a lower price, the world is going to buy that. So you hear a lot that the United States buys a lot from China. And that's because China simply produces this stuff at a much cheaper price than the United States. And because you want the lowest possible price, you are going to buy the Chinese products, not because you love China, but rather you love lower prices. If someone else can produce that at a lower price and a better quality than China, let's say Vietnam, then you are going to buy the product from Vietnam. And that's why prices were so insanely low back in 2018 and 2019. But now China's economy is growing so fast that it's making the United States worried. The United States wants to do something to slow down the Chinese economy, which is why we have started this trade war. Donald Trump has imposed these draconian tariffs on the rest of the world. Take an example of EVs. The average price of Tesla is about $40,000 if you take Model 3. You can buy a Chinese EV that is as good as Tesla for $25,000. But why don't you see these Chinese EVs in the US? That's because the government has imposed a 100% tax or tariff on every single Chinese EV. So when you bring that $25,000 Chinese EV to the United States, it will cost $50,000. So given the choice to buy a $50,000 Chinese EV or a $40,000 Model 3, obviously, people are going to choose the $40,000 Tesla model. And that's why not a single business is going to bring those Chinese EVs to the United States. But if we remove these tariffs and we remove these taxes, suddenly you will go to your dealership and you will see a $20,000 EV. That's where you see that prices are going down. So if you want lower prices, you want more globalization. You want nations to lower down their tariffs or ideally to entirely remove the tariffs. And the problem is that these decisions are taken by the rich people, and rich people are not being impacted by that because the wealth of the rich people continues to grow. The S&P 500 since 2019 has grown by 150%, and wages have only grown by 30%. So if you're a rich person whose wealth is invested in the right stocks in the stock market, you do not care about that, because no matter how much the dollar loses its value, no matter how much we destroy globalization, no matter how much there is going to be inflation, your wealth in the stock market will continue to grow. And that's why if you want to protect yourself like the rich people do, the first thing you want to do is to go and buy the right stocks. But here's the question: what are the top 5 stocks to buy right now to ensure that your wealth grows not just by 150% like the S&P 500, but maybe by 500% or maybe 1,000%? You can check the first link in the description of this video and find out what are the top 5 stocks to buy right now.